So in this video, I want to have a first look and first use of the Dehancer plugin for the Photoshop. It's also for the Lightroom, can work for videos and so on. So before that, let's put it this way. The company who produced this plugin contact me and say if I want to review, so straightforward. They provide a copy of this plugin. And I do receive quite a bit proposition for people to look on the software reviews, see if it's work or not. And tell you the truth, I don't accept all of them because, well, actually I accept a few of them only because due to time restrictions. But this one has caught my eye. And the reason is why it's supposedly work realistically, simulation of the film grain, color, so on. And I was working with traditional photo for many years. And I build even my own plugins in Filter Forge that simulate this. Of course, they're not close enough. They can simulate different printing papers, different films, and so on, color corrections. But this one has caught my eye. That's why I say, yeah, it will be very interesting to look on that plugin. The one thing, let me put straightforward, I never used this plugin before. So this is what will be interesting to review. I did activate this plugin, and I did read many manual for that plugin just to have an idea what it's about, what I'm going to review, and I usually do before review the stuff. And a couple things stand to me in that manual, and I'm not necessarily like it. For example, this plugin only work with sRGB color space, and my workflow it's Adobe RGB because it's wider. It's allowed me a lot of stuff to do. However, it's not the deal killer, but just let you know something it's pop up in my eyes. This says in the future they will support different color space, but currently how sRGB is smaller, but it's mostly it's what you used anyway. So when you produce like work with Adobe, example Adobe RGB color space, when I export to the web or other things, I do convert to sRGB for the screens and other ones because limitation, but so on. Anyway, let's go ahead. We'll go with this plugin. We'll go preview first time, and we'll go from there, from this point. Because I just opened only once to register, and I actually did not use it at all. If you're interested for those ones, I will provide more link, but right here you can see dehancer.com, and it seems like have it all this film emulation correction, and it should be a very interesting, nice plugin, because what I found many times when create some photos, process in Lightroom, Photoshop as a batch, you want to create this nice film look. So we'll see how this will actually perform. And the reason is why I say first look. What's happening with the plugins, if it's done by geeks, sorry for this word because I'm the geek by myself, but we usually don't look on the user. We don't look on how it's created. So let's go ahead and start with this, and I'm going to open the image right here. This is from Photoshoot done before. It doesn't really matter which one we open. We'll just work with one. And this should open in camera raw. So it's shot on Canon R5 in raw format. One thing we'll go change. I want to be sure. I think I already did switch to sRGB right here. Usually I'm going with Adobe. Just let you know, it does in documentation specify it is work correctly. It won't work, but correctly it will work with sRGB color space. And I usually work at least with 16-bit channel information, and I did not see any restrictions on that one. So what we're going to do, highlights, pre-processing, usually I take down highlights to remove some possible overexposure in elements. However, it will affect skin tone because it's, if you notice, it will flatten skin, will pop up shadows, and for the skin, well, shadows pop up sharpness about 70. And for the skin, we'll use it in color mixer, go to luminance and pop up a little bit orange and yellow to restore a little bit shape on a skin, on a face mostly. Again, the sharpness using to restore some of this in-camera anti-aliasing filters in Canon R5. They have filter up front of this, so it's kind of helped to reduce some of the satiety inside the camera, and also enable remove chromatic abbreviations and use profile corrections. Thus, I almost always use it to fix some of this distortion that's coming from optics. Okay, let's go ahead, click open, and it will open inside the Adobe Photoshop. And I'm using the latest version of Adobe Photoshop. It's in the cloud. Let's see, I think it is. So yeah, it's 23.3 release on that one. And right now I'm going just without even the touching. Let's go ahead, copy, create layer. Let's go call it filter. I won't retouch anything. I just want to see how the filter works first. So we'll go inside the filters, drop down right here. You can see the Dehancer install, and let's go click on the Dehancer filter. Okay, there you go. It does inform the filter profiles not found, so they start using it. Please update filter profiles. Okay, so let's go ahead and I don't know, I think profiles, it is what type of the film. Yeah, see right here we don't have any of them. It will be nice if we had some profiles already pre-installed, so when you install it, it's automatically will go, but definitely you need to have it step in. Before we jump that, let's overview our interface. And we have presets, profiles, so when we need going, this is our expansion gears. And usually I'm just going over preview very fast just to familiarize and be sure we know what is going on. Usually the top one will be our global configuration. That's what it is. Okay, preview. So this is very standard film profiles on the side. We have it update profiles, so it's where we need to go to download it. License info, how I said before, I already click on this to activate this plugin. And we have it also source information on the side. Render fast preview image for more than 10 megapixels. So definitely I will need it because how say it's camera R5, which is a 42 megapixel camera about. So we'll have it higher, and my GPU's NVIDIA 2070. So yeah, it's identified properly. Let's go ahead, click on update user profiles, and it is actually downloading right now, which is actually much easy. Worst things, if you need to go inside, download it, have it files, extract and put it in specific directory. So right here is just press one of the button. I wish this actually will work on the beginning when you first time open or activate, because it does recognize if you open for first time. It will prompt you to says, hey, let's upload it our profiles. So it does not just you need to go in kind of inform, because it's already, if you have it pop up warning message says updated your profile, so you can specify actions in same menu where it says click here to update them. So that is just extra step, but it's a very small insignificant step. It's just general and going this way. I don't see I can actually expand right here from top. This is kind of a little bit weird. Okay, what was weird, that usually you'd have it corners. It's where you take your application and you can readjust, you can see it. But what I noticed, you can kind of almost expand from top bar, which kind of weird. And the side. So it does work from the corner, you can increase size, but not from bottom right, which is for the Windows user very common. It's bottom right, it's where you expand it. Okay, we have right here different user profiles, and this is look like a correction. I bet it's probably using some LUT system on the back end, which is actually very nice. If you're not familiar, it's the lookup tables for the colors references, and they work. I mean, seriously, they're color magic. Okay, this is one of the best. I used LUT tables, and this is look like it's what they're using actually, LUT tables, because it's loading very fast in different colors. Beautiful, beautiful presets. And let's look on Bromachrome. Yeah, it's about right. Again, I'm just looking visually what's going on. Okay, let's go just try to readjust position. correct. Okay. So, okay, we have it our preset, and it's quite a bit presets. I think very fast. I do like aqua chrome. It's actually come up very nicely. Beautiful colors on this. Okay, on our right side, it's what I suspect. We have it our this is another things that you notice if I go mouse and I scroll, let's go up and down. However, it does not have drag like slider on the side, and that is maybe a problem for the people who have a trackpad or other things, because I'm using mouse. Or maybe if you have let me see if you can drag. Nope. So if you have a pen, this is maybe another problem. If you have a pen tool, I don't know how you can scroll these ones. So some limitations will be nice if they have a scroll bar or something, because if you have a touch screen where you're touching or working by Vicom pen, which actually I do have it, I should try to maybe work with this as well. Right now I'm just, because it is first look, okay, and this is what I do first look. I'll look around and I'm trying to familiarize with the interface, see how it is work. Most developers, they do very similar. Develop your globals or whatever toolbars will be on the left, your detail touch up will be on the right, and so on. So this is very standard, very familiar, easy to use kind of look interface to me. The other things, it does not, what I would like to see, it's a little bit explanation. What does those things do? They do have very nice documentations come with PDF, so you can open and read. However, built-in flyover help pop-up menus do work magic. So what I was meaning, if I'm going over here in the source or right there, have it like question mark. You click on this and it's open window which tell you what is this settings about. Or if you hold down your mouse, and let me hold for a second, nope, it does not do this by default. If it's pop up and says, hey, this is slider the fringe, so what does it mean? What does it do? That because using some of those and this is actual professional terminology, so it's not like they come up with their own names from what I see, but will be nice for the people to explain. And the reason is, when I teach classes, and I teach a lot of classes, when I speak with people, I need to explain what is different between brightness, luminosity, contrast, and all this stuff, because how we determine the reflection light versus transmitting light. So one case luminosity, another one you have it responsive, and so on. So all these two terminologies come to the point that we actually literally I wrote the book, you can check, of 3D, where we just book about terminology, for example, on 3D graphics, what is all determined, how it's work, and to the point people just sometimes need communicating as part of this. So I think that will be great if they add some fly over right here, but it's okay. So let's go ahead and see what we overall have it. We have definitely have it nice presets. We have it push pull V, which is nice. Okay, I like this one. You can go, okay. This is more, I can see this is definitely for people, for the photographers. It's definitely even interface, no naming, everything orientated for the people who are in photography. It's not for the hobbyist people. And nothing wrong with the big hobbies, but it's not terminology and some definitions. Probably it's more for the photographers orientated professional. And I can see actually from result right here how much thought come to that plugin. So it's very nice, very professionally done. Okay, temperature control, definitely we have it cold warm adjustments, and this one actually I will probably take a little bit more test on this. See, okay, let me double time click. Yep, okay, that is good, because usually double time click, yep, and let's go to 0. So that is done very nicely. Okay, let me see again. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I think I saw something pop up on top right there, maybe. Nope, it does not. Okay, so yeah, controls is nice. Tint, same things, very beautiful adjustment. We have the fringe right there. Okay, that is actually on the hair. We can preview, and previews work. Okay, let's see how close we can get. as a skin. Oh, what's happened? We just reset it to back on a zoom. Okay, there you go. So we'll look on a skin a little bit closer. Okay, let's go different. Okay, that is a radius. Okay, we have it expand black, white point, color mode normal. Okay, lumina. Okay, our black points white. So that is actually very nice. I like the point of the black points. We have it. How much you have it crush black and other ones. We have it idea for the also expand. Okay, this is our expand for the dynamic range. This is our print simulation. And we have it beautiful. We have it actually simulation on a paper, neon print film. That is actually, I love this. Okay, so let's go ahead. Gloss paper will have it. We have it our target white preset for the paper settings. This is definitely is settings will change. Yeah, depending on what you're going. Okay, we have it adjusting on the color head. And this is when you print with exposure, you can adjust the filters if you've done film photography, color film photography. So this is what we working with. Okay, and actually some of this, if you have no idea what does that mean, I do recommend to read the manual. They're actually going quite a bit in details. They explain. There's our film grain simulation. So right now it's off. We can bring in. And yep, I can see definitely grain is already appear here. Right now, let's go right there. Okay, we'll go off and on. And you know, I do like add sometimes grain. It's add this, but someday hopefully humans will grow more into the new digital area, whereas all cameras does not have it grain, so it's nice and clear image. But I don't know, grain adds some nostalgia maybe. Allowed things, and I do use the grain and in my compositing to mix kind of them together. Okay, so definitely this is settings. We have it our amount, we have the resolution of grain, shadows created by grain. Oh, that is beautiful. Add that. This definitely you have it way more control over what type of the grain you can use. It same like we have color grain for the film, or we can go more desaturated probably. Yep. Okay. So yeah, this is definitely more advanced option of the film type, negative, positive for the slides and analog. Okay, so this is our film grain. Let's minimize halation. So this is disable. Let's go enable again. And how I say, you know, sometimes what is best if we have a little bit explanation of what does that do. Okay, for example, like a bloom. What does the bloom does? And it's almost like blurring around the light. So it's kind of explaining. If you can see right here where we have it highlights, it start glowing slightly around the highlights. So we can actually pop up a little bit more. Let's add details, and I'm just amplifying a lot so we can see that. But right here you can see with the bright lights. Okay. Now let's go. Right there you can see this kind of haze almost, but it's going over the bright light, so it's what this bloom will does. And on the film cameras and other ones, bloom usually it's a side effect. It may happen because you don't have a clear lens, and when light coming through the lens, it is not pure. Well, you cannot have it absolutely pure transparency, but it does, and it's make next molecules kind of glowing inside the lens, and it will create this bloom effect. It's also bloom effect may related to the film because emulsion, or the area where is actually the silver dioxide, which those silvers is located, they kind of spread the photons around, and that's what blooming is creating by. But it is some interesting effects, simulations, and that's okay. So we have now blooming effect and vignetting, of course. And it's kind of funny because I in camera raw, you notice I took it off some vignetting away, and now we can add actually vignetting more to this. Right there I can see the vignetting is very easy to do by Yeah, and we have it going vignetting white or darker. So this is a very gentle vignetting. It's not very overwhelmed controls here. So we have it control on the source, and we do have it control on dynamic range. We have it our print. We have it our color head controlling for our projector. If you don't know, with a film grain, halation, we have it blue vignetting. So it's very similar to real print. So we can simulating. I see this plugin. Again, this is great plugin for the photographers who want to keep it feel and everything of traditional film look to me with a digital camera. And the best part, if I'm right, this plugin can work also with motions. So you can film and you can put it inside, actually run through and create like it's a shot on a film when you shoot on digital camera. But I say I'm work with film, but mostly I'm working with photography. So in this case, that will look nice. Okay, let's. Overall, my first impression, it is look very highly professional tool plugin. It's not some kind of low-level entry plugin. Definitely the people work on this plugin quite a bit. There was thoughts, and it is done by the people who know print process, who know how the traditional photography work, and they try to bring this in. Those presets, they definitely went a lot of time to create these presets. Okay. Who should use this plugin, on my opinion? I think it is more fine art photography kind of, because it's definitely have some nice touch with this kind of with effect. It's have this art look with a film, some with coloring, and this is interesting things because shapes does not give it us by the color. Shapes give it by contrast, by luminosity, by difference between darker and lighter areas. So it provide for us the shape. The color, it's provide additional information, but in many cases color actually is very important because it's provide for us the information on the environment. Okay, right here, there you go. This is, we have it more as a, and for me it will be interesting just to check. So what I'm going to do, and how I say, this is my first look. I just opened, I guess, never worked with this plugin before, so it is first time I look with you. I gone over some of the settings. I never knew they have it before, like a color head, film grain, halation, bloom, vignetting. I did not know they have here. Okay, I did read documentation, but honestly, I purposely kind of skip from these settings because I want to discover this. Mostly what I read in documentation, it's what the plugin requirements is, like how it says sRGB, color space, so on. So this is my focus. Now what I'm going to do is go a little bit more, read the manual, okay, with explanations. Be sure that my understanding, what I thought, like for example, expand its dynamic range and other ones, just go over and be sure that my understanding is correct. Probably I will be a little bit different things, and after this we'll come back and we'll go and take some real life project and we're going to work on this. So, but overall it is actually very interesting. And like I say, by respond, it is most likely work with just a lots tables, look to me, how fast it's responding. So yeah, they're using lookup tables there, predefined, which is kind of nice. It's meaning people can go ahead and create it, or additional can be uploaded very easy and using this. And you know what, there's a film profile. I'm just looking right here. Okay, so yeah, we have it sort, we have it all films, color, negative, And we have it sliders, probably motion pictures also. Yeah, it's a huge collection. I like this. It's a lot of collections. I wish was a little bit more ability, or I did not see anywhere that I can upload. So I need to look, see if I can upload my own LUTs or other things to add to this preset. So that will be nice if I can do this. But how I said before, it's some way to find out. And right here we have it, of course, presets. If we're using, oh, right there, look on this, we have it, import presets as well. So maybe you do have it. You can preset something already and apply it. Okay, so one more test I want to do with this, it's see if it's destructive or it is the non-destructive type of editing. And that's what I was meaning by this. Let me give you some example of different filters. Usually if it's LUT you can apply over and over, and actually you can do directly in Photoshop. So but right here, because we have it green in other ones, let's go ahead, and when we select, we'll click OK, and right there you can see it's applied. We cannot modify. So I'll give you a few examples. Let's go create a couple more different things, and we'll call filter forge, and let's go call this anoric. So oops, I don't need this. Go call. Okay, so right here different type, and I'll show you non-destructive. So right here, for example, we go ahead and use this glowing anoric. I love this plugin. This is actually for those who do a lot of compositing or maybe some other ones. It's hard to explain. This is a very cool plugin which make different glowing and strikes and all this stars. If you just do processing, you can see how glow right here, but point is not this. Point is, let's go like we'll set threshold so we can see a lot. Okay, so we'll set threshold on this one, and let's take a second. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, glowing, and let's go just say from bloom to the glare. So we'll go very crazy, maybe too much glare. But point is not what I want to show you. It is how this filter work, for example. Okay, there you go. We add, and we'll go to save it. We'll save as a separate layer. It's going created. And this is a non-destructive filter. So what I was meaning by non-destructive filter, it is did apply effect, but you notice what's happening. It's like smart object created new one. So it's create new layer. It did ignore layer that I created. So it's create brand new layer. But if we select it, it's come up and says edit element. So I can double time click, open a smart object, or if I click on edit element, I actually can go inside, open this element, go back and modify the settings that we already have. So in some case, if I can say, hey, this is too much, take threshold on those lights, on the glowing too much, so just reducing. Okay, go back, and now we go back to save it. So it's the same layer. We'll just override it right now. And there you go. We go back, and you can see it's the same layer, but with the modification we just applied. So it is kind of remember information. You can go back and forward to work on this, which is kind of nice. If you go back afterwards and says, hey, I want to change a couple things on this. So how I said before, it is this one. I don't think we can go. It's similar like if we go in a filter forge. Let's go filter forge. Just open one of them, and same in the filter forge. If I went and, for example, say, hey, I want to apply this color pre-tone, let's apply it. Same things, it will apply, but it's not changeable. So in this case, if I want to change back, I cannot, because it will be permanently applied to this. The workaround this, and let's try see if we can do this. We'll have a new layer created. The workaround in some cases you can do, if you go and convert smart object from the layer that you want to apply filters, and you go after filter And see, like Filter Forge doesn't allow you to do that on a smart object. However, Dehancer seems like can do this. So we'll go on the Dehancer filters and we'll see if we apply this to our effect. So if you can apply that, it will be much nicer. Okay, so right here we'll just give it, let's go ahead, click OK, and it seems like applied to our smart object, which is actually very good. It's meaning if I need to modify, I can click on Dehancer again in my right area. So it's open, and in this point I can say, hey, I don't want this filter, I want to apply actually this one. Let's go ahead, click OK, and that is should change. So yeah, it's nice, it's done very well. So in some cases, if you apply directly to the layer, you cannot change, like for example in Anaric in this plugin, so you cannot going, but you can work with the other smart object. And versus again, if you have a Filter Forge, a little bit older one, which I still kind of like it, but again, because if it's smart object, and we'll go on the filters, you can see Filter Forge is not workable with smart object. So this is a good benefit. And again, it is become that filter directly on the rail from destructive. It can go from non-destructive filter in this case. Okay, well, let's go ahead. Just we don't need those ones anymore. Delete them. But overall, I do like the filter how to work. And let's go just look a little bit more on the summary on this filter again. Okay, let's go ahead right here, and I will open Dehancer again. Well, time to go read the manual. Okay, so like overall, this is a first preview on the Dehancer photo on the plugin that allowed us simulate the film, traditional film, and make it real accurate according to the documentation. And it does again look very professional, done everything. Okay, so thank you for watching this very fast preview. Please follow up when we start actually using this plugin in real world projects to follow up with this, see what we can use and how we can manipulate with this. Thank you again. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, put it, what do you think about this plugin? Will it's worth for you? And I think it was like $200, $199 for this plugin. I don't know if it's worth for you. Please share this. Tell if you're going to, what do you think, that will plugin work for you? It's overpriced, underpriced, just on that. What do you think about this? I'll appreciate, and thank you for watching.